It is December 15th, 2022. Meaningful Ideas Trading Club, place to come in, guys, and share ideas on personal development and business development. All right, this week, guys, we're going to focus on YouTube. And our guest today, frequent flyer, stops by the Meaningful Ideas Trading Club quite often. Courtney Gatlin is going to tell us about his YouTube growth strategy, what's worked for him, and how it might help all of you.
Thanks a lot for the warm intro.
You're welcome.
As someone who's always been here, it's kind of weird having the spotlight put on you now. I can't just chime in and be the side ingredient. Now I have to be the main. I got to be the T.
Yes.
I started my business back in 2019. It grew very slow. Relationship coaching business, which is turning into something so much more thanks to YouTube. Now I do YouTube consulting and just a host of other different things. I basically branded myself through YouTube. So I started this business. Why relationship coaching? I was going through a divorce, and my ego is like, I think I know a little bit about relationships. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a relationship coach. My friend's like, bro, really? Like, I know some things, because I did it. My original business was working with at-risk youth, and we would talk about childhood trauma, talk about the effects on it, how it affects your relationships, how it affects your careers, and every, XYZ. And it was eye-opening, and I would want to share that with everyone, because you have like these moments of like, oh, everyone needs to know about this. And then I said, you know what, let me just start a YouTube channel. And it started out as a labor of love, but then it made me want to get better at it. It made me want to dive deep and say, all right, who are the best YouTubers out? So I started researching it a lot. And the number one key to watching or to being good at YouTube and learning this stuff is watching more YouTube. First things first, you want to pick a niche. Like, what is our niche, whatever you want to call it. Pick what you're passionate about. If you run any type of business, pick it. Research the other people who are doing the same exact thing that you are. And you don't have to reinvent it. You can just improve on it. YouTube, you need to view it as an actual channel. All right. It's a channel. And you want to call it a channel. You want to have it up against NBC, CBS, all those, they're channels, right? And you want to take it serious. So when you launch it, you have to do it in a way where you're thinking long-term right away.
Right.
SEO. So when I changed careers back in 2019, and I went on Indeed like everyone else does. It's like, all right, you did a little test on there. What am I efficient in? And I kept ranking high for SEO. Because I guess they were saying that the way I was answering the questions, I just know this inherently. And I'm like, that's weird. So what kind of job do I get into SEO? Because I don't want to be in IT or anything like that, but I use that information towards my YouTube. So if you go to backstage, go into the studio, it tells you everything, the psychoanalytics of your audience, the people that are subscribing to your channel. And once you get a grasp on what that is, you want to push more of that content. They call it your avatar. Who is your ideal avatar?
Let me come back to a couple of things here, Courtney, because some key points that you made. Number one, you said you got good at YouTube because you started watching other YouTubers. So guys, think about that in your practice, right? That's modeling, right? Like anything that you do in your art, your craft, your job, you're learning from other people that are around you. And that continual process of learning and watching, right? And refining it and using things that you can find that are unique to you that you can then carry out into your channels. Yeah. And I keep showing our screen here of what, and you've helped us with, our YouTube channel, right? I mean, start to finish. And just as evidence of this, guys, these videos now, and we're happy with the numbers that we're seeing, guess what? These started with 0 views, or this one that has 24, this one that has 4, right? And, that's the way it goes. You put it up there, nobody has watched it until it kind of sits in there and percolates a little bit, and you add more content and you get better at it. And, suddenly you get up to almost 6,000 views and you have people commenting on it. And, now you get into the interaction part of it and all that sort of jazz. And at the end of the day, I view YouTubing as a long-term goal that people can use in business as a model, honestly, for retirement.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's like a stock. Yeah, it's like a stock in yourself. You put
there
it
you
in
go. Tell us more
because
about that.
because most of the videos that do well for me and still doing numbers today are videos from 2020. You know, videos that were early videos and it caught fire. Like it rode the wake of someone because it's so many, it's so intricate, man. Like suggested, you want to get into the suggested, you want to get into the home screen. And the way that you do that is you model your stuff after someone else, put similar tags, put similar keywords. And one video that blew up back in March of this year, I had a slow and steady growth, but then one of my videos rode the wake of a channel that had 7 million subscribers.
Okay.
So after they watched their video, they recommended mine's next. And I saw just this massive boom, but then it went back down, you know, because it was like the certain time of the year. But I looked back last night, I was looking at my analytics. It's no coincidence. When I first started, my channel was in February or March. February, I started in February. And each year around February, March, my channel does something weird where it just kind of like just boom, it'll blow up. And it's like almost a reward
Is
for
that
it's like
Valentine's Day or something, maybe?
maybe it's seasonal. A lot of this stuff is seasonal when
Yeah.
especially when it comes to relationships.
So let's focus on that a little bit here. And let me back up to starting a YouTube channel and the fear of starting it. I think there's a lot of business owners that think
Yeah.
if I have a YouTube channel and I get on there and I talk about the law, for example, right, and different things that are relevant to people that might be looking about legal topics, then I'm giving something away. I'm not getting paid for that. And then I'm never going to get hired, right?
Yeah.
So for your example, the guy selling the tires, right? If he's in the tire business and he's talking about tires and showing you how to do X, Y, or Z with tires,
Yeah.
that person may fear, well, then I'm losing cash, so to speak. Nobody's going to actually end up hiring me to do the tire rotation. So I think people have concerns about that and giving away value. So what would you say to somebody who's thinking that way?
Coach Court, you're going to be talking right to me here. This is my hang up because I created a product, a physical product that no one else in the whole world has ever made before. It's custom. It's my invention. And if I start making a YouTube channel and showing like behind the scenes, like how I'm making my product, what I'm doing with the laser machine, my software, other people are just going to take my idea and then start replicating it. So that's what do you say to someone like me, Coach Court?
Well, you don't want to give the whole recipe away, you know, but you know, I don't know, when you think about certain things, you kind of leave to imagination, you know, because for your job, for your industry, there's not a lot of people that want to do that. You know, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes resources, and they'd much rather pay you for it'll improve your value, because if they see how much work it went into doing what you're doing, they'd be like, wow, this guy really is worth this much, you know. So you're giving them insight on what it took to make that, because not a lot of people want to do it. First off, not a lot of people want to do it. Not a lot of people want to start a YouTube channel. You don't have to give it all away, right? You can just give like certain parts of your process when you talk about it. And then you can even say like, subscribe to the channel. Maybe in the future, I'll talk about how I did this process. And it'll give them a reason to come back. You have to give something away. I have certain apps that kind of help me. I don't do this like straight from nothing. I think it might be Think Media's software, which is vidIQ. And in the studio, your YouTube studio, you'll see once you create your channel, right, Andy? You'll see that in the studio, they match you already, because here's the thing about YouTube. They want to make money. They want to keep the people that are coming in as subscribers on their platform for as long as possible. So if you learn that, and you can learn what makes a video a good video, first off, thumbnail. This is a major shift that's happened over the past year or two. You're not going to get away with just having some regular old boring thumbnail. Now they actually released an update within the past 3 months that compares your thumbnails to your competitors. And they'll ask you, does your thumbnail stick out to these people? And if it doesn't, like, this is like they're literally trying to help you keep people on their platform longer and get more clicks for you.
Now, after a person has decided to do YouTube, you got to really come down to what are the reasons for it. Again, one of them for me is as I grow through my law practice, Courtney, I see it as a way to, you guys know my goal is to hire other lawyers here that are more talented than me to help out our community with the best legal services, right? So as I do that, as we approach that, I'm looking for other opportunities, ways that I can help and provide information through YouTube, right? And eventually, maybe there is, the more you are patient and stay in that process like you are, Courtney, maybe that there is cash flow that eventually comes from that, right? And now suddenly you're a law firm that's maybe not, or a lawyer who's maybe not going into court, so to speak, and
Yeah.
actually doing the technical work, but you're providing information and getting paid for that, right? So I
Mhm.
see it as a natural growth process through a person's career.
In their
Well,
life,
in
because
their
your why,
life.
your why is going to always change. I don't know how long I'm going to be a relationship coach. This purpose may change. My why may change.
I understand there's about 3 basic ways to grow a channel. Maybe you've got more. One is organic, another is offline promotion, and the second is like traditional Google ad campaign. Maybe there's more, but those are 3 that I came up with. Let's talk about what is your favorite method to grow a channel?
Well, I booked a call with Daryl Eves, back in March, and he charged like $800 an hour, something ridiculous. And I asked him about that. I said, "So, do you believe in Google ads?" He's like, "No, do not do Google ad campaigns because what it's going to do is going to confuse the analytics on who your ideal audience is. You may get that temporary boost, but it's going to it's still undoing because I did it early on in my channel, and it confused the analytics. Like, who is your ideal audience? Who are the people we should be pushing this to?"
So what is organic growth? Tell us how does that, if somebody starts YouTube organically, what does that really mean? What are you looking to do? How does it grow organically?
Organic is just you let the analytics find it for you. Find your ideal audience. As you can see, we can use your channel for example.
Mhm.
There's certain videos, there's certain topics, there's even certain people, because you have multiple people on your channel, that people gravitate towards more. And it's a lot
Mhm.
harder for someone to start a channel with multiple personalities than just one person. One person is kind of like, they know who you are, they're familiar with your brand. Once your notification pop up, they're like, "Oh, a new video from so and so." My website gets about 15 to 20 organic traffic visitors every month. And the reason why is because I link my videos from YouTube into my website. So I embed it in there. So it's kind of like they get multiple points of views. And I also take that content, I turn it into a blog format where I just basically pull the closed caption off of it and put it in a blog. So they have multiple places to go to connect it.
What are some of the biggest rewards personally and in business that you've had from, your YouTube growth?
I went into this actually selfishly to try to heal myself from a breakup. I wanted to learn as much as I can. And at the same time, what I was learning, I was helping other people learn it too. So the growth that's came from there has been just, can't put a price on that.
Mhm.
I mean, there's people who's been going to therapy for 5-10 years that hasn't reached a level of like self-confidence and self-respect or the healing that I've done compared to what they were doing. So I guess there I was
Mhm.
able to heal. Financially, I've been able to quit my job, and I'm probably going to be set for a real long time. I guess my closing would be just bring value. Bring value and the rest will sort itself out. And be passionate, be authentic, and be genuine and relatable. And then you won't have to find your clients. You won't have to sell a product. It'll sell itself.
All right. Thank you guys so much for all your contributions today. Really great stuff. And Courtney, thanks for doing a deep dive here on YouTube. I always feel like we leave some stuff on the table and there's probably more
Yeah.
there that we can get into with all the editing and the back stuff and all that sort of jazz. So feel free if you want to come back and do this another time and really get into, I don't know, some of the how-tos and that sort
Yeah,
of
for
thing.
sure. I got some bullet points I didn't touch on.
Okay. All right. Well, we should get you back on and then we'll do that again another time.
Okay.
All right, guys. Good.
Great
Thank you
one.
very much, guys. Have a great
Everybody.
week and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
Right.
man.